Robbo, you okay?
I'm great, thank you. You?
Yes, not too bad, my friend. Just player-wise, first of all, the news today of Elliot Wallace moving to Leeds. What's the sort of rationale from the Giants' point of view?
Yeah, look, Elliot were obviously struggling for a little bit of game time with Swifty on the wing. Sam also were playing there originally. And then obviously when Connor Carr came and did a really good job in a couple of games before when he got an opportunity, Elliot were struggling with a little bit of an injury. He were getting very frustrated playing reserves, and obviously wanted to play first team. So obviously started looking around at opportunities to get some first team rugby. Yeah, that's where we're at the moment with El. He's still a Huddersfield Giants player, but yeah, he's seeking more first team opportunity.
It's one of those, obviously, not that long ago you were struggling to put a side together. You probably understand why people might say, why we're letting players go out on loan, but it's just opportunity really for him. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, look, he's one of those where he's chomping at the bit to play Super League, to play first team. We played him in the reserves, and yeah, he wants more opportunity to play Super League. At the moment, when with Swifty, and it was Sam Alsall, and then it was Connor Carr, and he probably feels that he's probably getting limited, not enough game time for his liking. So he's looking at getting some more Super League opportunity.
Fair enough. With you playing on Sunday, we won't see your squad till Friday tomorrow. Can you give us an insight into any potential ins and outs this week?
Yeah, we've got some good news. Looks like Aaron Clone regarding he came through training today pretty good. Zach obviously had played last week and came through that, which that were a little bit. He came back a couple of weeks before he should have done really. So that's good news once again. So yeah, we're starting to get some troops back. In Clooney in particular, who's a pivotal player for us. So that's really good news. And barring that, yeah, we're still probably a few more weeks away from the likes of Murchie and King. They're still probably 2 weeks away.
Are they the next ones potentially back?
Yeah, we always said originally around that Castleford, around the Magic Weekend, that players were going to start filtering back into the squad. And Tuilala here should be around that time as well. So this is what we're sort of waiting for a little bit around this period where we start filtering players back in. Like I say, Clooney's back in this week. Hopefully Kingy, Harry Rushton, Tue should all be available or putting themselves or nearly available for the round after Magic.
With Clune returning, do you get that game management that you've been craving in recent weeks?
Yes, very much so. Yeah, look, it's been no secret that we've been up in a lot of games this year. We probably should have beat Hull last time we played them, if I'm being brutally honest. But we didn't manage the game very well later on in that. The back end of the second half, which we have done on a few occasions this year. So just look, having a bit of experience in the side. I don't think the spine have actually played together yet. I'm not sure Clooney and Zach Wolf have even played together yet. So it'd be nice for them to actually play together and build a combination up. That's not going to happen straight away. We know that they're going to have to build their way into the season, like anybody who's been out for a long period of time. But we feel like we can keep those two fit in particular. Then obviously it'll definitely help us.
Magic Weekend, big occasion. Is this the sort of occasion that can you are the most successful Magic Weekend team. Is this the weekend that can really lift Huddersfield, do you feel? Yeah,
look, fingers crossed. We've had a really good week. We sort of did something a bit different this week. We had somebody from the armed forces, the special forces come in and speak to us about just a little bit about adversity and sticking and being one as a team and working hard for your mate. And I thought the lads really bought into all that on Monday. They carried that on. We had a really good session today. We've got a really good record at Magic. Obviously, I was part of a lot of those wins. I've had a really good time going up there. So hopefully we can continue that trend this weekend. And like I say, it could be a springboard of a season, really.
What is it about the event that brings the best out in Huddersfield, do you think?
I'm not sure, really. We've had some, obviously with us right, a lot of times it was like rival round really, and we sometimes got picked with the sides where Bradford was struggling a little bit in Salford. But on the same note, I remember playing Wigan 2 or 3 times when they were the top side. So it's not like we've just had easy games. Just for whatever reason, it seemed to bring out the best in us. And I think we had a really good win with actually Zach's dad. It was Simon Wolford. I think we won something like 49-0 at one point. I think that might have been at Anfield that game. So we've had some really good results. We've got to, like I say, continue that this week.
You played in the very first one, didn't you, in 07 for Salford? Could you imagine that it would still be going relatively strong in 2025?
I love the concept. I absolutely love the concept. I hate the loop fixtures. They're just, it's not a fair reflection of the league, of where you end up. It's not right. It's not fair. I think it's rubbish. But I would try to include magic as much as I can. It gives players that are not used to playing in big games an opportunity to play. It has a final feel. It gives rugby league an opportunity to showcase itself to the nation globally. And I think it just shows what a good concept it is. The fact that the NRL have copied us. I think the concept behind it's great. It gives everybody a feel for what the rugby league fans are, how you can blend different Super League fan bases together and not be very, very rarely there's been trouble. Everyone has a really good time. It's a festival feel, and I just think it's great. And it's something that we need to keep even when you get rid of loop fixtures.
Yeah, amen to that. Just a couple of last points from me. What's your take on Hull at the moment? I think they've lost their last 2.
Yeah, look, but they've been pretty consistent all year. I think they've probably done to teams what we haven't. When they nicked a close score against us at the beginning of the year, they nicked a close score against us Wigan the week after we just lost to Wigan. They've probably been on the right end of the scoreline, and we were on the end. I don't think there was that much in us at the beginning of the year, but they seem to have carried a little bit of momentum. They've obviously added to their squad. Bought some middles in. They've obviously bought Pricey in. So they've continued to add to the squad and get a little bit better as the season's gone on. And look, I think they're a pretty talented side. They've got SA that's probably playing some of the best rugby he's ever played. They've got good halves in Seas who's having a really good year. They've got talent. They've got real threats on their edges. They've got John Asiata who controls the game. I think he was the catalyst for a lot of what leaded over the last few years, bringing a Challenge Cup to them. So they've got a really talented squad, and even though they've lost the last 2, they've been in the games, and they could have come away with a win, even though they were a loss against Ulster. They went a man down very, very early on in that piece as well.
Just lastly, you will know Will Price and Aidan Caesar inside and out. Does that mean you've got the best ideas to how to negate them on Sunday?
Oh, look, I like to think I've got every week you've got the best ideas, but it's one thing stopping them. When talented players take the field, and they are talented players this season, and Pricey, they're very good with the ball. So we've got a good feel on what they like to do, what their sort of preferences are, what the little nuances are within their game. But yeah, stopping it's still going to be a very tricky battle, but one that we're up for, and hopefully we can do. We can negate what they're good at this week.
Good luck, mate.
Thank you very much.
I'll see you on Sunday, pal. I'll see you up there.
Hi, Robert.
Hi, pal.
Just on Elliot Wallace to Leeds, there's been some talk that Matt Frawley might come the other way to Huddersfield. Is there anything in that?
Oh, look, we're always in talks with. We're no secret. The last however many weeks we've had makeshift halves. I think we played with 3 fullbacks or 4 fullbacks only a few weeks ago. So it's I don't think it'd be any surprise to anybody that we're obviously on the open market asking and inquiring about pretty much any half that were available. It was somebody that came up that could potentially be, he seems to have found himself down the pecking order a little bit at Leeds. And an option, but at this moment in time, it's not something that's come to fruition or as anybody else that we spoke to, if I'm honest.
Is that because you've got halves coming back or something at Leeds?
Oh, a little bit of both. Obviously, when you when you are looking for people on loan or people to sign or whatever it may be, and they're already at a club, it's a little bit of to-ing and fro-ing, deciding what works best for both parties. You know, everybody wants a little bit of what works best for them, and it's been the same with every sort of player that we've chased at this moment in time. It's always been, whether we can and can't, whether make it work for us as well as the parent club, and on that note as well, we've got Clooney that's been coming back into the side. It's going to have a little bit of a direct. He's our director. He's our chief general. So it's always one of those where when he's coming back into the side, obviously he alleviates a little bit of pressure. We could still do with a little bit of pressure alleviated until Tui's back fit and ready to go. Niall Evans, who I still deem as one of the best players in Super League, then the two players that had a lot of wealth and experience to our spine. But yeah, we're always looking, but at this moment in time, yeah, it's not come to fruition.